Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of my channel. My name is Fiona Akinyi, and if you're new here, you're most definitely welcome. So today's video is on retaining moisture on natural hair. The thing is, I know by now I have so many videos where I have been talking about how to moisturize your natural hair and why it's important to do so, but I feel like it's one thing to moisturize your hair and it's another thing to know how to retain it on your hair. Okay, so I have 5 tips on how I usually retain moisture on my natural hair. Retaining moisture on your hair will prevent it from being dry and breaking, and therefore it will help you retain length, meaning longer hair, and that's a good thing. So I have 5 tips on how I usually retain moisture on my natural hair. The first tip is always deep condition your hair, or rather deep condition your hair regularly. You want to deep condition your hair regularly because it will help your hair cuticles open up and allow the moisture get into your hair. So if you do this regularly, it will help your hair to retain the moisture. So that's the first thing. You want to always deep condition your hair, and just find a deep conditioner that you love, that your hair loves, that is affordable for you, that works for your hair. A deep conditioner that helps. Once you deep condition your hair, it makes your hair feels nice and soft, and just feels healthy. The second tip is always include the lock or the LCO method into your daily routine or your regimen. So the L stands for the liquid, the C stands for the cream, and the O stands for the oil. So again, you have to know what method exactly works for you. Personally, I usually use the L or C method, the lock method. So I first of all spray water into my hair, then seal in the moisture with an oil, and then seal everything else with a cream. Okay, so I usually use water, oil, usually coconut oil or castor oil, and then I top it up with my with my organic shea butter. So I usually use the LOC method because I have high porosity hair, and I feel like I need something that is really thick and heavy to be able to seal in the moisture on my strands. Yeah, so you want to do this probably twice or thrice in a week, depending on how your hair feels like. So I'm not usually the word's not consistent, but I don't usually do it systematically. Like, I don't usually have to do it every 2 weeks, just because sometimes my hair feels moisturized throughout the week, and there are days it feels like there are days I feel like I need to moisturize it every single day. So you just need to know how your hair feels like and what exactly it needs, so that you tailor everything else to suit your hair type. Yeah, so I usually use the LOC method. And if your hair is of low porosity, I would suggest that you use products that are not really heavy, because it will clog your pores, like it will close your cuticles, and then moisture won't be able to be absorbed the next time you want to moisturize your hair. You need to know if your hair is of high or low porosity, and then use the product that suit your hair type for you to be able to retain the moisture. So like I said, I usually use the LOC method, which works perfectly fine for my high porosity hair. High porosity hair means that I am able to absorb moisture really fast from the atmosphere, or from even if I spray water on my hair. But again, the flip side is I lose that moisture really fast. So on that note, I need products that are really thick, so once that I spray water on my hair, I'm able to seal it in with something thick, so that the moisture does not escape into the atmosphere. Yeah, so someone with low porosity means that their moisture is not really easy for it to penetrate into their cuticles, but once it does, it takes a long time before they lose it. Like, the good side is once their hair absorbs the moisture, it won't escape from the hair, because their cuticles are kind of sort of close. Okay, not really close, but almost, like, maybe should I say 75% closed. So that's a good thing for them, because they're able to absorb it really fast. So people with low porosity hair need to get products that are not heavy, like shea butter. They need to get light products like coconut oil or olive oil. That's really good for people with low porosity hair. So again, like I said, you need to know what exactly what hair type you have, so that you get products that suit your hair type. So the second point is always include the LOC or the LCO method into your hair regimen. Yep. The third point is always do a protein treatment. Now again, a protein treatment is good for people with high porosity hair like me. A protein treatment basically helps you retain moisture. So people with high porosity hair need to probably do it. Okay, for me, I usually do it once a month or once in 2 months. A protein treatment basically helps people with high porosity hair to be able to retain the moisture into their hair strands. A protein treatment helps to seal in. Exactly, it basically just helps in sealing in the moisture once again. Okay, so people with high porosity hair are more privileged when it comes to doing protein treatment as opposed to people with low porosity hair. People with low porosity hair should do less protein treatment because their cuticles are almost closed, as opposed to people with high porosity hair who have cuticles which are almost open, like 75% open. So people with low porosity hair need to do less protein treatment. So if you have hair which is low porosity, what you need to do is always find a way of applying heat onto your hair when you're doing your moisturizing. So applying heat doesn't necessarily mean getting under a heater under a dryer or blow drying your hair or anything of the sort. What you can do is, once you've done your LCO or your LOC method, depending on what you prefer, once you've applied everything onto your hair, what you do is get a paper bag, tie it on your hair once you've moisturized your hair, and then tie everything with a scarf or something, so that you're able to generate heat from your body. So the heat will help in opening your cuticles and then allowing the moisture to get inside. Yeah. So people with high porosity hair, I suggest you do a protein treatment, and then for low porosity hair, try apply heat on your hair every time you're moisturizing. Yeah, so that's the third point. Okay, and then the fourth point, avoid putting hands on your hair unnecessarily. Like, avoid touching your hair unnecessarily. If you have something like a twist out or a braid out or anything that if your hair is out, avoid touching it every single time. I know sometimes it's, I won't say inevitable, but sometimes we just find unconsciously doing it. But remind yourself not to do it, because every time you do it, you're prone to losing moisture from your hair. So if you can, avoid it. And also, if you know me personally, I hate it when people touch my hair. If I have something like a high puff or some kind of curls on my hair, I hate it when people touch my hair. Not just because of losing moisture, I just hate it. Okay, so avoid touching your hair unnecessarily when your hair is out. Yeah. And the last but not least, always sleep in a satin or silk scarf. So this is what, most of the time, this is what I usually use to tie on my head every time when I want to go to sleep. And the reason why you want to avoid fabrics that are not satin or silk, or in short, the reason why you need to avoid cotton fabrics or cotton scarves when you're going to sleep is because cotton has the tendency to absorb moisture from your hair. So if you do it every single time, pretty much what you're doing is undoing all the hard work you put while moisturizing your hair. Yeah, so cotton absorbs moisture from your hair, and that's not what you want. So avoid cotton fabrics on your head. Okay, even if you have something like a hat or a beanie or anything that you like, to accessorize your hair, always ensure that the fabric inside the hat or whatever is silk or satin. You can also do a DIY. You don't necessarily need to go get scarves or beanies or capes that have silk or satin scarves, because I think it's rare to get one. But you can do a DIY. Just find a silk or satin scarf and then sew it inside the the hat, so that every time you have it on your head, you are ensured that your hair is okay and it's safe. Okay, so always sleep in a silk or a satin scarf. Even if it's during the day, avoid having cotton fabrics on your head. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So the reason why it's important to embrace all these points that I've talked about on retaining moisture is because if your hair gets dry, chances are you're going to lose your ends. Your ends are going to break, and then you'll be wondering, I mean, it's been 5 months or 6 months and my hair is not growing, or I'm not retaining length, and what's the problem? And you've been deep conditioning, you've been moisturizing, but it's more than just applying water onto your hair or using a moisturizer and then sealing it in. There's more to it. There's more work that's needed to be put in order to retain your length. So all these things that I've talked about boils down to healthy long hair. If you want your hair to grow, if you want your hair to be moisturized every single time, ensure that you embrace these 5 points that I've talked about, because that's usually what I do, and that's what has helped me this far. So that's pretty much it. I hope you liked this video. It helped you in one way or another, and if you liked it, please don't forget to give this particular video a thumbs up, and also don't forget to click the subscribe button on your right side so that you don't miss any other future videos that I'll be posting. And up until the next video, bye bye.